I think it's going to be down to those first couple of maps. As long as they can get one on the board, I think they can then say, all right, at least we are good enough. We do deserve to be here. Because they might even be questioning themselves at this point because they have had an easier path than some of the other squads.
Gaskin, you mentioned the series layout, and I'd love to stick on you right now because we're going to see that to see exactly what is coming our way for this winners finals. We're starting things off with CTF Argyle. Interesting. Gaskin, are you kind of making anything of this for Shopify Rebellion? Is there any hopes?
I think games 3, 4, and 5 are very good for Shopify Rebellion. 1 and 2 is not. Optic Gaming should be taking these, but we have seen this tournament, you know, the stats have been thrown out the window a little bit. Some teams have been practicing on some of their weaker maps and modes, so it's really going to be a tough one for Rebellion, right? If they can get a job done here in one of these opening maps, I really do think they have a chance here.
All right, well, a chance is everything at this point in time on that main stage, and a chance it shall be for both of these teams. Folks, we're ready to get into game. It's Optic versus Shopify Rebellion. Shurzy and Gaskin, take it away.
Thanks so much, Lottie. Winners finals times, folks. Optic Gaming up against Rebellion. And Dan, you speak about game 1 and 2 being so important with Rebellion's record on Sunday being 0-3s galore. It's time for them to shift the narrative. It's time for them to change things. But map number 1 is not looking good for them.
Optic have the best average caps 4 on Argyle CTF. It is the perfect way for them to start here on Championship Sunday, and I'm expecting a big hit.
Time for Rebellion to flip the script, and for Optic Gaming, powering through, getting to that grand finals, and finally getting your hands on that ever-elusive championship right before Worlds. Optic Gaming have it all to do, Rebellion even more so. Shields up, weapons hot, we're underway here.
Lucid has the second highest KD in the league when it comes to Argyle CTF, so we have to keep an eye on him. He averages about 16 kills per game. And that's very difficult to do with the teams that Optic have played against historically throughout this season, because they've been getting all the way to those grand finals time and time again, but can they go one step further here?
Lucid flies basement. He gets taken down. These two teams are going to be back and forth all day long on this map, particularly with the sniper rifle. Formal with it in his hands. We know how good he can be with it. He's been on fire all weekend long. And you know that's exactly why he's been the man entrusted with this weapon. SoulSnipe almost gets the soul sniped out of him.
And I am expecting the sniper to be in the hands of Mental on the other side. I think he's going to be one of the key factors for Shopify Rebellion, and there he is. There he has it. Can he shut down a player like Formal, though? He's being very brave with his positioning. I mean, going top middle, you're always going to be a little bit vulnerable to be spotted out, but I think at the moment, he's still going about unseen.
They haven't spotted him out. They don't have that information. And they'll know he's around somewhere with that sniper rifle. And he's playing a little bit of defense here. Lucid's going to be down long haul. Didn't quite connect with that shot. Lucid's going to come back for more, bite off more than he can chew. Shields will be getting zapped. And for Rebellion, we spoke about how important this game number 1 is for them, Dan. If they could get the first capture, that could be massive for their confidence.
Oh, first capture on Argyle CTF, we know how important it could be. You can turtle up, you can play a little bit more defensive, and that might really help out Shopify Rebellion's chances, not only in this map, but in this series. It is going to be a tough one, though. I mentioned Lucid averages around 16 kills per game. There is not a single player on Rebellion who averages more than 10 kills here on Argyle CTF. They just don't really seem to get going. And a lot of other teams have kind of bullied them when they've sat back a little bit. So I want to see a bit more aggression when that opportunity presents itself.
Here is Formal pushing forward. There goes
no.
Mental. SoulSnipe's in trouble as well as he continues to jiggle peek, trying to get information. Doesn't want to step out too far. Formal hits the body shot. Another body shot. So much damage being put down by Formal here. Quantum translocates away, chasing down that player that was no shields. Deadzone gets the kill. Optic are pushing forward.
And I think it is pretty terrifying for Rebellion when Optic are playing in this way. The aggression now starting to come through, forcing them back to spawns, forcing them to just put their tail between their legs and run away here. And now they're going to get pinched. TriPPPeY's just arrived, picks up a double, and they should be able to get a flag run shortly.
Formal's a walking turret at times.
Oh, Cykul.
Just hoped that Cykul wouldn't take that angle, but he did. Killing spree locked in. To press down to no shields again. Formal just needed one more body shot to get that kill. Rebellion have got to shut this man down.
Well, I think what Optic are slowly doing here is they are chipping away at the defenses of Rebellion. Just walking forward an inch every single time they get a kill. They didn't quite have the all-4 dead to get a run previously, but now this could be the opportunity. Formal seizes the chance and will start to move.
Troops are on the march. Formal with the killing spree also says, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll move this flag forward. Mental's in the respawn screen. Rebellion don't have the numbers to maybe get the stop here. Damage being done to Formal shields, but it's not going to be enough. As Suppress continues to try and do some damage just to delay this and hope for Rebellion to push forward and get the numbers where they need them. SoulSnipe falls. Now this is huge. 3 dead. Cykul last man standing. He's bottom middle. This flag's going in. Deadzone slams it home. 1-0 to the green wall.
Bad news bears, because there's another flag being pulled. TriPPPeY tosses it out to front base straight away, but the spawners should be able to stop him, and they will. So it looks like that flag should be a dead one, but again, Formal is still carrying on with this tear. 7-0 right now. Cast a Curse coming in as he goes and will fall. But oh my goodness, that allows Lucid to get involved.
It's been all one-way traffic so far. Optic have been laying siege to the Rebellion base. They've not been able to get out of their own 25% of the map right now. Optic have been relentless. And is this just a tale of the tape for what we're going to expect from Rebellion?
Oh my goodness gracious, Lucid. Carry on, you filthy animal, and he's going to keep running this flag as well. This is what we'd expect from Optic Gaming. They haven't lost Argyle CTF so far this season, and they're looking to try and dominate Rebellion here, and it's going to be 2!
2 to the good. The QT gets them straight back to top middle as well. Maintaining that pressure on the base. Rebellion just have not had an answer to the aggression that Optic have put down so far.
And this is what I was alluding to with those kill averages across the board for Shopify. There's just no one on this team that really seems comfortable on this map when you go up against a squad like Optic Gaming, who do seem comfortable, who do find those angles to really punish you. And that flag is going to keep moving here. It's going to be in a dangerous spot. Oh, so close to perfection there from Formal.
Formal putting down damage. Flag still in a bit of a no man's land. TriPPPeY's going to get the touch though, keep it alive. 2 dead, Mental and Suppressed have to watch their teammates. Game over though. Green wall, 1 to the good.
Optic continue their 100% win rate on Argyle CTF, and they continue 3 flags captured every single time they've played that map in mode. It just seems to fit their playstyle perfectly. They can slow the game down when they need to. They take the right angles. And a lot of it was the presence of Formal to begin with. But as soon as Formal went down, Lucid said, well, I guess I can take charge. And all the meanwhile, you've got Deadzone TriPPPeY running riot in the base, getting behind enemy lines and pulling that flag when they needed to.
And there's winning, Dan, but there's winning convincingly. That was a statement, a demolition job from Optic. And Rebellion, they find themselves. You spoke about game 1 being so important. Wes touched upon it as well. You lose that game 1 now. Are you thinking we're in Groundhog Day once more?
I think it's hard to ignore that fact, and I think the players, certainly in the back of their minds, they'll be saying, look, let's not let this happen again. If they've done their research, if they've looked at the series layout, if they've looked at Optic Gaming and done their preparation, they should be saying, it's okay, we just need to survive and get to game 4. If we can get to game 4, then we have a chance in this series. Because games 4 and 5 are some of their best. And I really do think that they need to look at that series layout and say, we have to give ourselves the chance. We can't just do what we have done before.
The Slayers, more often than not, their championships are won and lost, Dan. That's what we have up next. What have you got for me?
Lucid again is going to be the focus. He has the most kills across the league in Slayer Streets. In fact, in every single Slayer, he is the guy. He tops the charts in terms of kills, averaging around 12 kills per game here on Slayer Streets. So it's someone that they need to shut down. Rebellion can't allow him to start going off like he usually does, and it's not as good on the side of Shopify. Again, there's no player who's been averaging over 9 kills per game on Slayer Streets. It's not one of their better modes, and I just need to see them get to map 4 because I feel like we might be looking at a similar game here.
And looking at these Slayer matchups between these two teams from Salt Lake City so far, records 5-1, Optics 3-3. So there is cause for optimism there for Rebellion.
It definitely is. I mean, Salt Lake City has done great things for Shopify Rebellion, but you have to look at their bracket, you have to look at Optic and who they've played and who Shopify Rebellion have played. And sadly for Shopify Rebellion, they haven't really had that true test. So a lot of those Slayers have been against lesser opponents. But now you're in the big leagues. You're into the top 3. You are going up against an Optic Gaming who look like they're in championship form. If they can win this Slayer, then you start to say, all right, Shopify Rebellion can do it. I believe they can go on. They could get to a grand final. They could even lift a trophy. But sadly, you have to face reality here and know that Optic Gaming are going to look to try and go 2 up and will want to do this in 3.
Slayer Streets on the horizon then in this winners finals. Optic already won to the good, chasing down a 2-0 series lead, desperately wanting to get to that grand finals and have that winner's advantage. And for Rebellion, Dan speaks about wanting, needing to get that game 4 if they stand any chance. They've got to win this Slayer.
I mean, Slayers in general, the way that Shopify Rebellion play, you would actually give them an opportunity against anyone. 4 very talented individuals, but someone just needs to go off here. I want to see Suppressed match some of the statistics that he did in previous events and shut down this Optic roster.
There's still time for Rebellion to break this curse. It's been looming over them large for the longest time. All the good work they put in this season, and the aura around them is they just can't get it done on Sunday. These players were put together to try and win championships, to try and disrupt that top 3. They've done that, but Sunday has just been a point and a problem that they can't solve.
And you mentioned it earlier, we've never seen a team, apart from FaZe, win a tournament from the elimination bracket. So this would be huge for one of these squads to get into that grand final and have that advantage. Because FaZe now being out of the tournament, suddenly it begs the question, can anyone else achieve that? Of course, it is Space Station Gaming down in the elimination bracket on their home soil. And I guess if anyone were to do it at this event, it may just be them. But that's what is waiting one of these teams when they do drop from the winners.
9-3 the score. Lucid still with a bit of camouflage to play with. So Optic have had the hottest start. And they've got all 4 members of Rebellion spawning in Tram. Stock rifle being fired over the shoulder. SoulSnipe's about to get face to face with Lucid as he backs away. Huge kill. Lucid wants more. Does damage, gets a second as well. And it's timings like that. Optic Gaming are gobbling Rebellion up right now.
This one's going to get ugly very quickly, folks. This is when Optic Gaming are in full flow state. The chemistry is on point. They run around so perfectly together, listening to those call-outs, finishing off the damage that's been done initially by one of the players. SoulSnipe's going to be the next victim. And this is why I was talking about Lucid on Streets, because he just finds those angles, finds those positions to shut down everyone in his path.
Shroud Stream goes down. TriPPPeY gets a camouflage. Goes back home to his teammates. They can formulate a plot, push forward. SoulSnipe over on the commandos, gonna drop on the trash. He knows the camouflage player's there. Cykul looking for him too, but he's evaded them. He's gotten through. He's broken the lines. He's looking to backstab here. All 4 members of Rebellion set up on this arcade side. They're getting backstabbed. TriPPPeY doing damage and gets away as well. Unfortunately for him, 2 of his teammates went down, but TriPPPeY's not done yet. He gets close, gets a kill, lands in the melee, almost gets a second.
Now on the Rebellion roster, you have to think about SoulSnipe, who's on our screen now. Think back to previous years when he was on that native roster, and they did something similar at the World Championships. They got to that winners final, 0-3'd. Dropped to the elimination final, 0-3'd. It is so tough to get to these final days, to get to Championship Sunday. Be amongst the greats, but sadly not even be able to scratch the surface of what you think you might be capable of. And sadly, these games 1 and 2, it was always looking to go this way with what the games were, with what the maps and modes were, really favoring Optic Gaming. It's 27-8. And it's difficult to even suggest Shopify Rebellion can get back into this one. I'm going to be completely honest with you, Shurs.
They're boxing with heavyweights, and they've yet to be really able to lay a glove on them. That's how dominant Optic have been. There's still time. Maybe not in this game.
That is a good point, because the series layout does get better from maps 3 onwards for Shopify Rebellion. Arguably 3 of their best maps and modes across the league, so it isn't all doom and gloom. And there is still time in this game, you are completely right. If they were able to get all 4 dead on Optic, start to control the map a little bit, then maybe there's some belief, but we are maybe just grasping at straws at this point, and at least Mental gets 1, but Lucid's on to 10 kills already. And this could be one of those games where he just demonstrates why he is the best slaying player in the league.
Rebellion looking to get their hands on the first camouflage of the game. But Lucid says no, he scoops up and somehow survives for a moment, is ultimately cut down. But that's also something Rebellion haven't been doing. Getting control of the sandbox and the power-ups. The camouflage has gone to Optic every single time.
And again, that's something that Lottie brought up on the desk, even though with the GAs in place, it could have hurt Optic Gaming. They were so good with the sandbox, so good at utilizing some of these weapons that maybe other teams weren't. But now they can turn all of that attention that they were good at prioritizing suddenly just onto what is available to them. And of course, the power-up is going to be one of those things. Of course, Lunchbox behind them, one of the best players historically in Halo history, is going to make sure that they are on time with that.
SoulSnipe down to no shields. TriPPPeY had the Stalker Rifle over towards Arcade. He is now repositioned. You can see Rebellion are at a standstill. They have got to try and get themselves right back into this game. The Stalker Rifle just does so much damage. And TriPPPeY's all the way back in the tram now. And that should be cause for Rebellion to push forward and take some map, take some space. They've got to formulate a plot here. And they've got to execute it perfectly.
I mean, sadly, with a lead like this, Optic could just slow the game down and force Shopify Rebellion to actually do something. Start poking them with a stick and say, what have you got to offer? And sadly, I don't think Shopify Rebellion really have anything to offer in this game anymore because they've tried and tested plan A, plan B, plan C, and Optic have had an answer every single time. 35-16, and we're starting to look at a steak dinner.
Rebellion almost look like they're playing scared. Like the weight of the moment is too much for them.
Rebellion are playing scared, Optic are playing matchmaking at this point. It is really a golf in class, and I am hoping it is just a game type thing. I really hope as this series layout goes a little bit deeper, we start to see a better effort from Shopify Rebellion. But this is one of Optic's best, and Lucid being arguably one of the best players on this map and mode as well.
There's another camouflage that's gone towards Lucid and Optic. Another win condition ripped from Rebellion. They have gotten a couple of kills on the board. Perhaps something to build on. Suppress can just stay alive here as he continues to jiggle peek. Lucid takes out the battle rifle and waits for Suppress to pop back out. Suppress will get that kill. But Optic, they only need 11 now to double their series advantage. And Rebellion just don't look like getting back into it.
There's moments of hope for Rebellion where they'll get a kill or two, but then there's just another member of Optic waiting around the corner to finish off the damage that had already been done. And that's why Optic are so good at this map. They don't allow those one-shots to get away as SoulSnipe is easily eaten up by Formal as he picks up a double. And he's probably happy to challenge this, which he will. There is no fear from any of these Optic players right now.
Formal almost double positive. They weren't lying when they said he's in championship winning form here. You know every single time they've gotten second place, it's eaten away at those players. They made the change, and you know, as every single time they hit a second place, somebody would say, what did you drop APG for? They're trying to answer that here in Salt Lake City and beyond. They get a 2-0 lead. The Green Wall are doing it brick by brick.
The Steaktacular well and truly in effect. That is arguably one of the most one-sided slayers we have seen in a championship Sunday. And that is going to be very demoralizing for the Shopify Rebellion players. For Optic, though, now they surely are feeling themselves and saying, hey, this feels familiar. We've been here before. Shopify Rebellion, a 3-0 is on the horizon. We are so close. We can almost taste that grand final. We can almost taste that best-of-7 advantage that we will gain if we do make it here. But as I said, the series layout does get better for Rebellion from this point. Match 3 is going to be the most important one. If they can get to 4 and 5, I'll give them a chance. But Optic Gaming, with the way they are playing at the moment, they just look like they are playing with their food half the time.
It hasn't been competitive so far. Pretty dominant games 1 and 2. What do you see in game 3 that maybe gives you some hope for Rebellion?
It is going to be Stronghold's Live Fire as map number 3. It's arguably the weaker Stronghold mode for Optic. It's still not a bad one, but it is one of the better ones for Shopify Rebellion. They have a 67% win rate on Stronghold's Live Fire, so it does give them a little bit of hope. And Suppressed is going to be the player to look out for when it comes to Stronghold's Livefire as well. Averages around 14 kills per game on Livefire in general. And he should be the one that maybe can pull this team through to give them at least a sniff of a chance here in this winners final, because at the moment it's all been Optic and plenty to smile about for those Optic fans.
Doom and gloom for Rebellion. And you can see it, they almost look downtrodden. Confirmation of what we've seen. Series layout. You're just joining us, CTF Argyle 3-0. It was smooth. 50-26, a stake in the Slayer. Stronghold's up next.
And whilst I may have mentioned Suppressed on the side of Shopify Rebellion, for Optic Gaming, let's actually keep an eye on Deadzone for this one. Interestingly, he has the most kills across the league in Strongholds in general. And here's a head-to-head view of him against Mental. Now, Deadzone has not really been the guy to pick up the kills. You wouldn't put him as the main Slayer for the squad, but when it comes to Strongholds, he just seems to find so many engagements that he ends up in a ton of fights and he wins those 1v1s time and time again, averaging 15 kills per game on Livefire. He's going to be the man that could maybe take them through to the grand finals here.
Let's even talk about Deadzone just a little bit more. Last year, his season was marred in second places. And for whatever reason, that meant Space Station made the change. He's landed on Optic, and it's another season of second places. You know he desperately wants to bring success to this Optic Gaming roster.
Would love to be up there holding that trophy, hoisting that trophy once more. But it is still a long journey yet. Yes, Shopify Rebellion at the moment looks like they're a little bit dejected and perhaps they already feel beaten. But there is still life left in it, and that's what they have to tell themselves. When you think back to some of the interviews we've had on the main stage, Bound especially yesterday, saying that we just never believe that it's done until it's over. We always believe we have a chance to get back into a game, back into a series. We can reverse sweep, and that's the kind of energy that Shopify Rebellion have to be thinking right now. A little reset, a little bathroom break here is going to do them wonders, just to mentally clock in and say, look, series layout, it starts to improve from here. We were never going to win those first two. Some of Optic's best. But if we can get to 4 and 5, there's still hope.
And I wonder if that's the difference between the likes of SSG, Optic and FaZe and Rebellion, is that they all have the experience to draw back of when they were down 0-2, them making that reverse sweep, coming back and roaring back to life in a series. But every single time we've gotten to a Sunday for Rebellion, it's been this same old story.
And whilst we do have a break, I can talk about that series layout a bit more in depth, as we could go to Oddball Recharge, which is, yes, okay, it's Optic's best oddball, but it is also Shopify Rebellion's best oddball. Both teams are actually at a 100% win rate, so that is a great chance for Shopify Rebellion to demonstrate what they are best at in Oddball Recharge. And then you go to Slayer Solitude, where actually Shopify Rebellion are the best team in the league on Slayer Solitude. They have a 100% win rate. They've never lost it, whereas Optic Gaming only have a 37% win rate when it comes to Slayer Solitude. So that's what I'm alluding to when I'm saying the series layout does get better for Rebellion, but it's sad when you're going up against a team like Optic, who have so much consistency across the entire map and mode combo that we have here in the HCS, that even when you get to some of your best game types, they are still good ones for Optic Gaming.
I think something I want to talk about as well is Suppressed and how good he has been for these rosters. He's already picked up some accolades along the way, got himself some event commendations, and they need him to come to life here in this series. So otherwise, they're in such danger of just going 0-3 again, heading into the elimination finals, playing against a very hot Space Station Gaming, and they could really get put to the sword once again. They've got to find life here today.
Well, fist bumps all round. The players are back with bums on seats and ready to get into Game 3. Can Shopify Rebellion make this a series? Can they do what they have not been able to do so far in a Championship Sunday position and win a map here in the Winners Finals? There's only one way to find out. It's Stronghold's Livefire. The series layout does get better here for Rebellion. Here's hoping they can make it competitive.
It's last chance saloon for Rebellion then. They're on the ropes. And Optic just keep on swinging. Are they going to show signs of life? Or are they heading to the elimination finals to a hot and hungry Space Station Gaming? We're about to find out.
As I mentioned earlier, Deadzone averages 15 kills per game on Stronghold's Livefire. Oh, but that's not going to get you a high average, losing that. And will just allow Rebellion to get some early control here. Maybe that's what you need to shut down some of these individual plays from the green wall.
Gotta win your pivs. Get your confidence up. Formal hits a body shot from across the way. Beautiful shot from him. Deadzone picks up on the damage then. So Rebellion are scoring. They've got control of B and C. SoulSnipe pushes into 3 members of Optic. Deadzone's got camouflage. They've got sniper rifle. They've got all the goodies to Optic Gaming now.
Go Optic are just moving, as a unit, as Suppressed again shows his individual prowess. As they're trying to take B, are Optic. And actually, Formal with the sniper rifle is in a very important position here, and he needs to stay alive.
Coming down from the heavens. Almost lined up a shot. Nothing doing, though. SoulSnipe soars forward. Gets a perfect shot from Formal. Sniper rifle will fall top middle.
Look at this lead for Shopify Rebellion now. This is what you've got to do. Peg Optic Gaming back. Put them behind. Take them out of their comfort zone a little bit. Suppressed will shut down Lucid. 65 now on the board. When Optic Gaming are ahead, they are one of the best teams in the league. But if you force them behind, if you make them just second-guess themselves a little bit, you can sometimes just pluck out those individual moments where a player maybe makes a mistake here or there.
We called upon Suppressed to have an influence like this. He's winning all his pivs right now, and if his teammates can rally around him, they can see some success. Formal's in trouble. TriPPPeY too, as is Deadzone. This is better from Rebellion, much, much better.
There is life in this series yet. 3 strongholds in control. Double scoring right now, and another kill for Suppressed. As Optic Gaming, they may have had Shopify on the ropes, but as the series layout starts to look a little bit better for them, Shopify are looking more like the team that we've seen previously.
Suppressed locked in a killing spree before going down. Cykul's top middle. Camouflage is about to pop any second, and Lucid's out there waiting on it. Deadzone's going to try and help him. Beautiful shots from Cykul. As he rotates now into house, doubles back for the camouflage instead. Commando in his hands, Lucid goes down. They're starting to win the fights, and there's 150 points and climbing to 0.
I mean, it would either be an incredible comeback from Optic Gaming here, or Shopify Rebellion should surely convert from this point. I know Strongholds is one of the best modes that we have in the HCS for that reason. You're never out of it until it's truly over. It's another camouflage again. Optic Gaming have been prioritizing them, but Deadzone needs to actually do some damage with this one.
Sniper rifle and camo now. Deadzone gets 1. It was easy. Easy pickings. They're down so much in the scoreboard here, giving themselves so much to do, Optic. 2 dead for Rebellion. This is an opportunity for Optic to get a stakehold in the game and really build upon something.
So Optic have finally broken Shopify Rebellion, but what a setup it was. 176 on the board right from the start of the game. But now this is where Optic Gaming usually look most comfortable, and Rebellion are going to have to come up with a plan to try and break.
It's going to be a top, middle, and cuts push, it would seem. Deadzone's forced back. It's good pressure applied from Rebellion. He pops back up with the sniper rifle, tries to land the body, gets 1. SoulSnipe's back green, he's been taken care of. Deadzone, 1 more bullet will put him in the grave. He wastes the sniper ammo. Heads up play from him. But Rebellion proved that they can also break a setup.
Rebellion, that's exactly what they needed as well, just to give them that confidence to say we are good enough, we can break through the green wall when we need to. But it's a good reply also from Optic Gaming here. They haven't allowed Rebellion to truly get into a position where they can start scoring again. And you can see they're trying to hold A here. You can see the pushes coming through from Rebellion, and Optic say, actually, we're prepared for it.
What's the play call then? They've got numbers advantage now, do Optic. They're losing A. So Rebellion will have a per man set up in A and C. Very difficult to hold for long periods of time. SoulSnipe now, bottom tower. Deadzone puts down a bit of damage, shoots the grenade for the remote detonation. This is better from Optic. They're going to start eating away at that lead, and the closer they get to Rebellion, do Rebellion start to quiver a little bit?
I mean, that has to be a concern, right? Do they get a little bit worried if Optic Gaming start to close in? Well, Cykul with kills like that maybe can keep them on top. B, though, isn't converted. And that means that Optic will continue to score. However, a camouflage at least here for Shopify Rebellion. And I think that's important. They deny Optic Gaming of the control of this camouflage, because we've seen how influential it was before it breaking that initial setup by Deadzone.
Camouflage is a non-factor. Optic on nest. Formal. Eyes trained towards C. Nothing doing, though. there won't be any point of contention. So he can just survey tower, hold it for his team. Rebellion have instead opted to try and hit B. Formal's going to try and help his teammate TriPPPeY top middle. Happy to give up B perhaps here and take it back, knowing that all of Rebellion are going to be trapped over here. They can just collapse with all the damage in the map. 3 dead. Cykul last man alive. The 1v1 with Lucid, and Cykul wins it.
And you just get that feeling with those kind of moments. Ever since the start of the game when Deadzone lost that 1v1, you start to think, okay, Shopify are here. They have woken up. Maybe it was just a couple of bad game types for them after all. It has been scrappy, though, in the last passage of play between the two teams, and that's okay as long as Rebellion just get the better of them, even so slightly as we move forward here. They will slowly trickle towards that 250-point mark.
I think slowly is good enough for them. Formal misses one, couldn't quite line up the second. Sniper will fall down then on Sandbags. Deadzone manages to stay alive over towards the pillars. Lucid back green then. You know Optic are gonna make this win as difficult as possible, fighting tooth and nail. Cykul inside A. Almost looked like he took himself out. Formal says thank you very much, gets a free kill. Still has that sniper rifle to play with. Issue is Rebellion hold B and C. They're over that 200-point threshold and very close to registering their first win on the championship Sunday.
And that is exciting for Rebellion. And you feel like that might just give them that belief that they need in this winners final, because boy do they need something after those first 2 games. It was a rough game 2 in particular, but they are still scoring here. Optic trying to find something though, and maybe Formal can rip some faces.
Optic not out of it yet. The beauty of strongholds. You always have a chance. Rebellion have got to shut this man down and do it quickly. Suppress does so. And they will continue to score. Camouflage though for Lucid. Optic Gaming have very few mistakes left.
Optic have the camo to work with, and Lucid just needs to find those players that are watching B, because B is going to be the focus point, and they do get hold of it. So it does just slightly peg Rebellion back in towards A here. And we've seen teams come back from this point, and Rebellion will know that. They can't afford to slip. This is the best chance they will ever have at getting a map here in the winners finals.
Optic still scoring. 3 dead though for a moment. What's the play call for Rebellion? It's going to be towards B. Formal is there. And he backs Mental all the way back inside house. Continues to put down damage despite he's got no shields left. Suppress steps out. Mental's desperately trying to stay alive. Grenade's going to do a lot of damage, but he will live. He will survive. Until now. SoulSnipe in B then. Lucid has got a 1v2 on his hands right now.
Stay alive.
He's forced to back away.
Has to stay alive, and he will. Good experience, good knowledge from Lucid to recognize this game isn't over. They can have the poor man set up, but Mental got that call out and will finish him off down below. And if we do see Shopify Rebellion get control of C and B here, then suddenly Optic may struggle, but they've actually fought really hard to get back to C, but again, the spawns are good.
So close. So close. Optic have got one more push in them, and then looking for B. Suppress has been backed up. He's going to head bottom middle instead and reposition. They're knocking on the door now. They just need somebody to open it, and will it be Suppressed? Will he kick that door in?
You can see they are desperately fighting at both A and C, but haven't really been able to secure B, but now it's going to be the push. 2 are dead from Optic. This is Shopify's chance.
They're scoring again. Suppress is hitting the shots. Moments away. Shopify Rebellion are on the board. They refuse to be just another brick in the wall.
And for the first time in Championship Sunday, in most recent events, they finally get a map. And what will that do to their confidence? What will that do to this series? 1 and 2 was rough on the layout, but 3, 4, and 5, it gets far better for Shopify Rebellion. And even though Optic Gaming look a tier above in the previous, suddenly Shopify show us what they're made of.
This series is about to get a hell of a lot more interesting now, Dan. That was much better. Patience was on show. The performance level totally different. Confidence, hitting shots, winning those 1v1 engagements. That's exactly what we need to see from them.
I mean, it was a 160-point lead right at the start of the game. Rebellion came out of the gates hot. The little break, as they just had a little mental reset to go into this match 3, was everything for them. And maybe they lulled Optic into a false sense of security after game 2, where Shopify Rebellion were a non-factor. Maybe Optic just thought they could waltz into this 3rd game and would have an easy ride into the grand final, but no. Rebellion are here for a reason. They are a top 3 team for a reason, and they would love to be able to shut down this green wall and get to a grand final.
Well, you promised me game 4 was going to be pretty nice for Rebellion, Dan. Tell me why.
This was the game mode I was most excited about in this series layout, because both teams have a 100% win rate. They are our 2 best oddball recharge teams without a shadow of a doubt. You've got the likes of Cykul, who has the highest KD across oddball in general, and he averages around 20 kills per game here, so I'm expecting high kill game from him. But then on the other side, Lucid averages 27 kills per game on oddball recharge. We're going to have 2 giants here going toe-to-toe to try and take all of those slays, but of course that's only part of the story. You need to have someone step up and actually be picking up that ball, actually helping that ball guy. And maybe that's going to be one of these 2, TriPPPeY and Mental. They are the ball carriers. I talk about slayers, I talk about average points per game, but you need your objective guy. And Mental, he takes a step back when it comes to oddball recharge. He's not that sniper that we see so often. Instead, he's the one who's in charge of controlling the ball.
All eyes on TriPPPeY and Mental, and indeed Lucid and Cykul. You've got killers on both camps, and you've got lads who are willing to put their bodies on the line to get the win at any cost. Rebellion have got to keep this series alive with a win here, because if they lose, they're heading to the elimination bracket finals to play against Space Station. They've already shown signs of life. Can they show us a little bit more?
Someone will lose their 100% win record on this mapping mode, but someone will go into the grand finals still holding that 100% win record here on oddball recharge. And Cykul, not only is he the best player when it comes to oddball recharge, he is actually the highest KD in every single oddball across the board.
Good damage, but Deadzone's managed to sneak away with the camouflage. SoulSnipe's got the ball. He's going to bring it towards Pipes. 2 members of Rebellion positioned over towards long haul now. Deadzone's getting pressurized in the back. That means TriPPPeY knows a player's coming his way from Pipes. Mental will take care of business. Down to no shields was Mental. Deadzone dispatches them. Gonna be a brawl in Pipes here. Grenades go down. Explosions left, right, and center. Not a lot of damage done. Deadzone prioritizing playing the ball, recognizing that his teammates were not in a position to help him.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit concerned about the pinch that could happen, and if you do go down, you give away a little bit of time. That also shows the respect that Optic have to Shopify Rebellion here, as Deadzone tries to pick up the double, but doesn't quite convert. No points being scored really at the start of this game, but this is also why Formal is one of the best to do it. He's not afraid to get that scrappy time when he's presented.
Formal tosses the ball up, hoping a teammate will be there to score it. It's going to be TriPPPeY. You highlight him before the game, and he's got what he loves, that ball in his hands, nursing it all the way home.
It's great to watch TriPPPeY play oddball because it's the way he moves around the map. He gets closer to teammates, but he's also not scared to drop it and fight when he needs to. And as an oddball player, you have to be constantly listening to callouts, but sometimes you can dictate those callouts as well. You can kind of manipulate your team in which way you want, saying, I need you here, I need my help. But sometimes TriPPPeY can do it alone. Big double.
He didn't need no help. All he needed was the grenades in his back pocket and that battle rifle. And a pretty routine double kill for him. SoulSnipe will get the kill on the Deadzone. Drive back in towards Pipes now. Shock rifle is up. Formal's bottom tower. Not anymore, he's not. SoulSnipe puts him away. The ball is in no man's land.
Ball incoming.
Can he be by name and by nature here, SoulSnipe? And maybe start to eat up some of these souls? The answer is no. Instead, now Optic Gaming can potentially really disrupt this attempt at a setup from Shopify Rebellion. They really want to grab this ball. But sadly, there's just so many eyes trained on it. And Optic Gaming, it's a very slender lead at the moment, but the time is ticking.
Got to keep an eye on that clock. 2 minutes 50 right now. It seems like a lot of time, but I promise you, when that ball is dropped, when you're down in the game, you run out of time very, very quickly. You don't notice it going. 2 dead, Lucid and Formal in the respawn screen. TriPPPeY's just joined them. Or, excuse me, Deadzone has. TriPPPeY last man alive. The ball's over towards blue. You know he's trying to be an influence here. Trying to get suppressed. but he doesn't do so.
And that will give now Shopify Rebellion a chance to hold this ball over towards blue. You can see Formor is going to be the first point of contact, just waiting for a little bit of support, but he goes down, does get the trade though, alongside Deadzone. But with Lucid falling, means it's going to be a 1 versus 2 here. Suppress the last remaining player from Rebellion.
Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped.
Deadzone being a phantom.
Ball.
Beautiful shots from both players here. Deadzone shuts him down. Currently sitting at 8-3 and 5. A wonderful opening engagement from him. Hoping to continue that as well.
Just desperately trying to help Formal stay alive there, but there's not much you could do from that angle. Instead, he needs to focus and prioritize his own health here. And this has been very scrappy, and I think that's probably because we have two of the best oddball recharge teams going up against each other. It's very difficult to gain control. It's very difficult to get set up when the other team knows exactly how to break it, how to stop it, how to position yourself so that that ball is not easily gathered, as it's a triple now for Suppressed.
It's almost like both teams were cancelling one another out, trying to figure out what's the best way to solve the puzzle. Cykul's got camouflage now. Suppressed got hands on the ball. They've got a pipe set up, and they can be very difficult to break, particularly if Cykul can get an early pick here. Deadzone's going to wait over towards the lockers, not show himself for now. Cykul hasn't seen him. And that means Deadzone will get a lot of damage here onto Cykul, who just about manages to round the corner. Suppress provides some cover fire as well. They've managed to keep their camouflage player on the map.
Very minor things where Cykul probably wanted to just grab that ball and toss it over towards window a little bit. It would only have been one more extra second, but we'll see whether that second can hurt a little bit later. But it is good time now from Rebellion as they show why they're one of the best. And if they are able to shut down the win rate of Optic Gaming, take us to a Game 5, suddenly maybe they can really believe that a grand final is very much achievable for them, but Deadzone can't quite connect.
Enemy has the ball.
Deadzone looking to reposition,
Ball dropped.
weighing up his options. What's the best place to go? Right now the call has been hold the ball because Formal's got the sniper rifle. Or in this case, the shock rifle. But it does a pretty similar job. Let me promise you that. You find a face, you'll put an enemy in the grave. Formal's been doing that all weekend long. He's been a bit of a reaper. Mental gets shot in the toes. That won't be enough. It will make your hair stand up, but not enough to kill you. Mental, jiggle peaks. Formal gets the kill. Shock rifle comes back out once more for a bit of play. Ball passed over again. They're passing it between one another.
It's like hot potato over here. But watching Formor's POV is always a blessing in any FPS that he decides he wants to try and conquer. His knowledge, his reticle placement, and his positioning always on top. And he manages to take down SoulSnipe as well. This is good time now for Optic Gaming. They take an 18-point lead.
That's how quickly your good work can be put and made to nothing. Murmurs of a let's go Optic chant as they take the lead. And they're looking a bit better, and we spoke about the time. Folks, as you can see, 48 seconds left now. And it would not surprise me if this goes to time.
I think that's what you'd expect with these two teams and how good they've been so far. You mentioned it, 47 seconds left, but now Shopify, they'll have the chance to take the lead. Lucid on his own will be taken down. 3 dead now for Optic. Camo's coming up as well. This is a really important time for Rebellion. But it looks like the Shroud might not save Formal after all. And Rebellion are taking a heavy lead now, and Optic are going to have to do something soon.
Both teams were emptying their pockets. Every grenade seemed to be thrown on the map. But they've got the reward, have Optic. They've got the camouflage. Mental's down to no shields. Deadzone prioritizing just staying alive here. It is imperative that he keeps himself on the map, and he does as much damage as he can. Gets one onto Mental with the help of Lucid. Suppresses top tower now. Rebellion have got to come and try and break this setup, because Optic are looking pretty right now.
Yeah, Formal's done well just to walk on in, grab that ball, steal it away, and now suddenly Optic Gaming will be ahead. It's been a tug of war in this map, and Shopify Rebellion are going to have one push here to try and break Optic. They have a real chance, Optic, to win this right here.
Back and forth we go then. Rebellion have got to make the play. They're running out of time. It's going to be a glass push. Deadzone waits patiently. Cykul's going to try and back down the player shooting him from elevator. Has no idea Deadzone is where he is. TriPPPeY's got 2 to contend with. Cykul's got 1. SoulSnipe gets another. Formal answers back. 2 go down a piece. It's a 2v2 on the map. Suppressing a 1v1 with Deadzone.
Oh!
Deadzone comes out on top.
Massive for Deadzone. Ball is currently played. Deadzone gets another 10 seconds for Rebellion to try and grab the ball here.
Can they get close? Lucid stands tall here. Ball's down in no man's land. Suppressed has got his hands on the ball, but he's in big trouble, and he gets taken care of by Optic. Round 1 to the green wall.
Giants collide on oddball recharge, and it was so close, so competitive. But it was just that final setup from Optic and the positioning from Deadzone. He saw the glass push. He gave that communication to TriPPPeY and the rest of the boys. And it was the damage, the output, and then winning that 1v with the Commander was massive.
We go again. We reset the whole thing and run it back. And Optic just 1 round away now from that grand finals. Double kill for Cykul, camouflage as well. And they can maybe build on this and get an early lead.
Is it Cykul's time to start to put numbers on the board here? He had a quiet first round. And maybe the camouflage can be the perfect start to really kick-start his game here. It was Deadzone who was getting the camo over and over again in the previous. Another double now for Cykul as he begins to heat up.
Enemy has the ball.
Shock rifle then passes over to Cykul's hands. Somehow, some way, Formal survived that shot.
I mean, just use your bandit at that point. He thought he was on no shield.
Cykul continues to put down damage. TriPPPeY tries to get away, killing spree locked in. And this is what Rebellion need. Big game players showing up in big game moments. Because your series life is on the line here. You need every single player to step up here and now.
I like that shroud. He just cuts off those sight lines. Cykul has to try and watch stairs here, but he is under a lot of stress from these grenades. Optic are very much full sending it over towards glass.
Optic really trying to smoke out the foxes here. A lot of damage being done, grenades blowing up left, right, and center, shields being evaporated, then recharged, then re-evaporated once more. 2 go down. This hold has been good for Rebellion. Cykul gets 1 down to no shields, but not able to get the kill. Drives forward for his team, gets a backstab. They get the push, and they get the kills that they need. Ball now, back in their hands.
Camo's coming up as well. Rebellion will prioritize the setup, they will prioritize the ball, so that should hand over the camouflage to Optic Gaming and naturally give them the chance to try and break this setup. It's going to be Formal who gets the camo. He was definitely called out, but he has escaped. And now it's about what you do with this camouflage.
Halfway to victory.
He picks off 1. Like you say, they knew where he was. But Rebellion have got such a good lead here. 55 seconds to 0. Optic playing this one slow. Deadzone and TriPPPeY in the respawn screen. Formal's going to try and at least stop this one, and he does. Stops the ball getting away.
Enemy has the ball.
Look at the toss it bottom middle. It's a good play from Formal.
Oh,
Might be able to get another here if they're not careful. Cykul's in trouble. Double kill for Formal.
Worrying times for Shopify Rebellion when Formal starts to kick into this gear. 22 kills for him at the moment. And yes, there is a big lead here for Shopify Rebellion. We already saw in the previous round, when Optic gets set up, they are difficult to crack.
Ball's down, long haul. Optic not scoring at the moment. And SoulSnipe's managed to steal it away. Perhaps with the use of a grapple, we didn't quite see it, but the ball looked like it was stolen away. He's going towards blue, so an option to play the ball they need to. And all of a sudden, what looked like a good setup opportunity for Optic Gaming has not really paid out. And Optic have to break the setup again. The ball will be played, but better from Rebellion. Just getting 1 or 2 seconds here or there, getting closer to that 100-point threshold.
I really want Shopify Rebellion just to make this awkward now for Optic. Do what they did to them in the previous. Watch over that ball. Force their hand first. Make them try and get a setup. Make them try and go for the ball. And then you can pick up those pieces and just get a little bit more scrappy time towards that 100. That's exactly what SoulSnipe's trying to do here. SoulSnipe, by the way, 25 kills. Talk about a player who's been there, done that. He's been in this winners final time and time again. Could be this the chance where he finally breaks that curse.
Camouflage is up. SoulSnipe prioritizes the ball, and you can see why. They're so close to victory here in this second round and pushing us to the 3rd round. And you know they desperately want to get to that game 5. Formal standstill, wasn't even interested in jiggle peeking. Strafing, crouching, none of it. Still back to the shot, got the kill. SoulSnipe goes down as well. Rebellion have got to be careful here. They don't throw this one away.
75 kills for Rebellion, 74 for Optic. I told you it'd be close. Two of the best to do it on this map in mode. 87-4 though, and Optic have a lot to do. For Rebellion, I really like how they've approached these final moments though. They are just allowing that ball to sit there for a little bit, saying, Optic, what do you have up your sleeve?
Incoming.
Because if Optic just make one step out of place here, there's going to be a Rebellion player watching, waiting in the wings to take them down.
Great patience being shown by Rebellion. Maturity. Not rushing towards the ball. They know exactly what they need to do to get the win in this round. 3 dead. Mental just tries to make that fight as difficult as he can. Suppressed was there to help him. Formal's going up the stairs now, and he's weak. Cykul gets the kill. This is perfect from Rebellion, but as they can just keep chipping away at Optic, making them feel a little bit more frustrated as time goes on. And they can get out those final seconds if they choose to.
Honestly, you just keep the ball here and you play Slayer. You make it awkward for Optic. If you try and pick up that ball and try and set up with it, you leave yourself vulnerable to an Optic setup off of the counter. So I love this from Rebellion. It's working out for them right now. Just 54 seconds left for them to take themselves to round 3. But of course, Optic are going to start to play a little bit more aggressively for this ball now.
This is always the concern. You leave the door open for them and they get the perfect setup. SoulSnipe got a double kill. And still, Optic don't have hands on the ball. 40 seconds. That time is dwindling down fast. And Optic are feeling every single second of it. Camouflage has popped into the chest, but again, Optic still don't have hands on ball.
30 seconds left. Now they have the ball. And they have the camouflage, but the camo goggles are perfect. Cykul spots it out, takes it down. And you feel like Rebellion just need to crack this setup one more time to take us to round 3.
Lucid's long haul. He rotates the ball away, but every single time he's forced to drop it, it favors Rebellion again. Deadzone's in trouble. SoulSnipe gets him. This has been much better from Rebellion on Championship Sunday. The time dwindles down, and our Optic just resigned to go into round 3 right now. It looks like it. They're happy enough. 1-1 is going to be the score. We're going to round 3.
Shopify Rebellion stay alive. And who is going to keep that 100% win rate intact? It's tough to judge because it was a very close round 1, but it was a dominant round 2 for Shopify Rebellion here. And they need to just continue that momentum through, and SoulSnipe needs to keep playing this way. 30 kills on the board for him.
A monster of a game. And like you say, he needs to keep it up. TriPPPeY, camouflage, Lucid, ball. Shock Rifle's gonna join Optic Gaming as well. TriPPPeY's gonna be forced to back away. They spotted him out. We'll see what he can do with this. Can he find the faces and some openings for his team? Cykul continues to jiggle peek, almost baiting out the shot from the camouflage player. They know where he is. He continues to jiggle.
Well, Shopify need to break this. And it's a good chance to jump into the comms and see just how they do it. Let's go to a listening with Shopify.
Enemy.
I think one's gonna be down here. Watch out, alright, all dead.
Enemy has the ball.
No, should be spawning pipes, person.
What batteries? Coming to me.
Nice, on couple. Ready, one shot couple. Yeah, oh no, chippy corner. Chippy corner weak. Yeah, he's scamming, he's C-stairs. Bottom stairs, pushing you, watch out. Let's see him on, top 8, Watch out. I have death cam. Hold on right now to sneaky. Pitch now, the bomb blue.
Every top cat. Okay, top cat.
Other one, stacks. Couple. Top again, tower 1. Bubba.
Watch out, turret.
Chan.
They're going up bit. What tower? Watch out.
On me, batteries.
Yeah, he's still batteries. He's on the wall. 2 batteries. I think I
Bring up bit, Donnie.
Enemy has the
Upper game
ball.
cross. Yeah, C-stairs.
Down he's going. It's one day.
Watch out, C boxes. Watch out, C boxes behind you, Donnie.
Top best week.
Map. Brief bottom mid.
One shot, going main.
Oh, it's trippy corner.
Sticky, watch out.
Alright, weak chippy corner.
Watch out, watch out.
And you can see the Shopify Rebellion were able to crack the Optic wall. But they are still ahead, our Optic Gaming right now, but the ball is in a vulnerable spot, and Shopify Rebellion should be able to retrieve it, should be able to start scoring. And this has been one of the better oddball games that you will see, and I am not surprised because both teams have put their best foot forward here. Very little mistakes have been made, and that's why we've really struggled to see those perfect setups.
Enemy has the ball.
This series is really about redemption for two teams for very different reasons. Rebellion trying to break that duck, break the curse of winning a map on Championship Sunday. They've already done that, and they're putting it to Optic Gaming. For Optic, it's about getting into a grand finals and having that winner's advantage, and they're on the doorstep here. These two teams so evenly matched here in this oddball. Nothing to separate them. Continuing to go to war.
3 dead again on the side of Optic. Ball going to be in hands as Cykul seizes that opportunity, sees that no one's going to be watching it. And now they're going to have an opportunity to set up here. You can see the spawns are over towards Elevator. Shopify still have numbers here as well, and they need to call out Deadzone, which they do. This is brilliant for Rebellion. 3 dead again. They're going to catch up. They can take the lead here.
TriPPPeY's down long haul. He's in trouble. Suppress gets him. They have the option to rotate the ball inside blue. SoulSnipe has gone that way to try and clear out tower, but that's exactly where Optic Gaming are. SoulSnipe has got to try and stay alive. He gets a pick, and that's massive. Deadzone soars in. SoulSnipe, though, more importantly, is still alive.
SoulSnipe's been doing so much damage in this game. 36 kills now for him. Shopify Rebellion have the lead, and they still hold. And most importantly, SoulSnipe has made it difficult. He made that white push impossible. Camo's coming up in 7. Deadzone's going to be there, lurking in the shadows, hoping to grab it. But they are allowing this time to tick by for Shopify Rebellion. They are 20 seconds away from taking us to a game 5.
SoulSnipe's been like Miley Cyrus this game. A bloody wrecking ball. Formal has camouflage, and SoulSnipe shuts him down.
Big double though. Massive double from Lucid just to save this, because that game was done. It was dusted if they didn't manage to break.
Ooh.
And suddenly TriPPPeY also heating up. It's one last stand here for Optic Gaming.
One last stand for Optic, and maybe one last dance for Rebellion. Lucid's getting the kills he needs, and he's rotating the ball towards pipes. This one's not done yet.
This is so tough for Rebellion because they were so close they could almost taste game 5, but now they have to reset, they have to think, but they cannot take too long. If this push goes south, suddenly Optic have probably won it, but there's the opening they needed, but it is traded out.
Shots continue to get traded back and forth. Balls on bat ledge. Lucid provides cover for his team. Cykul puts down shots. Lucid gets away with the ball, and they're within seconds of another.
But Cykul, he can get some scrappy time here. They need to shut him down. You need nades, but he's holding on.
Cykul continues to hold the ball. Grenades come in. He's down to no shields. The final seconds. We're going to a game 5.
Shopify Rebellion, the team that couldn't even put a map on the board in the last 2 events, are taking Optic Gaming right down to the wire here in the winners finals. And Optic, they were in cruise control in this series. They absolutely obliterated Shopify Rebellion in game number 2. But Rebellion, they hold on to that 100% win rate on Recharge Oddball. But they take it away from Optic Gaming.
Well, well, well. And does that now just plant the seed of doubt in the heads, in the minds of Optic Gaming? Like you say, in cruise control in games 1 and 2. They were playing matchmaking at times, you said. And now look where we're at. Game 5 on the horizon. We're going to a shootout, and Rebellion are exactly where they want to be.
Could Optic Gaming look back at this as a missed opportunity with how far ahead they were in this series? How dominant they were in games 1 and 2. But they have slowly but surely allowed Rebellion back into the game and back into this series and back with a chance to get into the grand final. And what does that do for your mentality? A potential reverse sweep on the cards here for Shopify Rebellion.
And you know, no matter what way this game 5 shakes out, one of these teams will be massively steeping in regret. The big game players have come to play on Championship Sunday here. What a game that was from SoulSnipe, really dragging his team forward. 39 kills, almost breaking that 40 mark. And that's what they needed. A player like that just to inspire them.
And I loved it from Shopify Rebellion. Cykul, I think, noticed that SoulSnipe was having the game of his life and said, all right, I'm going to take the ball. You go ahead, bud. You take that damage. You take those kills. I don't need to be number 1. And SoulSnipe, boy, did he take that opportunity. And now they find themselves game 5, Slayer Solitude. Shopify Rebellion, the best team in the league at this map in mode. They have not lost it. They are 5-0, a 100% win rate. If it's gonna happen, it will happen now. For Optic Gaming, this is their worst Slayer in the league. Can Shopify Rebellion get to a grand final?
100% record on oddball recharge for both teams. Rebellion hold that record now. And they gave Optic Gaming the L. And you're speaking about Game 5 being their best. Optic's worst. Like you say, if they were ever going to do it, Dan, it's here and now.
On average, they usually win Slayer Solitude Shopify Rebellion by around 5 points, 50 to 45. But you've got to think back to what happened on Slayer Street. It was a very one-sided affair. Shopify Rebellion didn't even turn up to that game. And they cannot allow Optic Gaming to have that same kind of start where they absolutely propel themselves into a lead of 10 to 15 kills. And that man on your screen, Suppressed, is again going to be my focus going into Game 5, averaging 14 kills per game on Slayer Solitude. Could he be the reason why Shopify Rebellion are in a grand final today?
And now the question is, do you start to play differently because of the situation you're in? It's Championship Sunday. Do you start to make decisions a little bit slower, a little bit more hesitant because of who you're playing against and where you are right now? Rebellion have got to remember what gave them a ticket to the dance in the first place and play to their own game plan.
And let's talk about why Shopify Rebellion are so good at Slayer Solitude. It is how well they move together. And they are not afraid also to go for a flank, to send one player to get that angle whilst the other three are aggressive with a push. But then they will always pinch. They are always on the same page. Very rarely will you see them make mistakes with their aggression. And Optic Gaming need to be aware of that. And if they have done their research, if they have done their prep, they can lay those traps. Look for that one player making that flank. If you see three that are starting to push over towards blue side, you've got to expect someone on their own and you counter push. You take that one person down and then you can have a 4 versus 3 on the map. This is going to be a bloodbath, but I'm struggling to decide which way it's going to go because of how well Optic played in that match 2 Slayer. You still have to put them as favorites, regardless of the 100% win rate on the side of Shopify Rebellion. And it is also about experience here. Optic have been here time and time again. Second place, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. If they want to get married, it has to be getting to the grand final first and having that best of 7 advantage.
So much experience on that stage, particularly for Optic Gaming. They've won world championships together. They've been in these big game moments. They've been in these big series time and time again. And they've come up with the answers. And for Rebellion, maybe that's where they fall short. Just not having the reps.
And that's a man who's been through many a Game 5. And many a championship. But so has he. We have 2 of the greats coaching these teams. Best Man and Lunchbox. At one point, enemies. Frenemies. And now they are across the stage from one another, trying to coach their team. Best Man even said, I think games 1 and 2 are going in favor of Optic today, but 3, 4, and 5, I'm feeling pretty good at. And I agree with him. I looked at the series layout, and that was what I was saying as well. But how does Lunchbox feel about this Game 5? What is he saying to the rest of the team? Because you have to pick them up here. A reverse sweep is on the cards, and you need to focus up, because if you drop down into this elimination bracket, you have Space Station Gaming waiting for you. And you know full well they are going to be like sharks in the water here.
And you have to question the mentality as well, with Best Man recognizing this. Game 1 and 2, they're not going to be our games. We need to stay in the series. And they're in this series now. Game 5, a shootout to decide who goes to grand finals. And who plays Space Station Gaming, who are hungry like the wolves, waiting for the loser to drop down here. These 2 teams are going to put it all on the line in this Slayer. One team with a 100% record, the other with hopes and aspirations of winning a championship. Shields up, weapons hot, let's do this thing.
It's a Game 5 on Championship Sunday. And 2 teams who have looked so different from start to finish here. But it is Shopify Rebellion in the ascendancy. It is Shopify Rebellion with the home advantage when it comes to this map. But it is Optic Gaming who have the experience and they have the lead here, 3-1 with a camouflage in play.
And you worry for Rebellion that they don't start getting put in situations they don't want to be in spawn traps. They don't let the occasion get to them here. The work that they put in to get to this point has been exceptional. But SoulSnipe has trapped S1, and he just could not get the trade. 6-2 the score.
This is what Optic Gaming need to do. They need to take this advantage now and punish Rebellion. Be relentless with their aggression. Find that individual that might be round a corner. Hunt them down. Show them disrespect if you're Optic Gaming here. Because Rebellion are a little bit rattled off the break. And they are all scattered, sporadic around the map at the moment, and Optic can take advantage of it.
Gotta keep them like that, like deer in the headlights. Don't let them get comfortable. Deadzone can do that with the shock rifle. A couple of shots do swing and a miss though. And Rebellion have taken some map. They've got players positioned top middle. Deadzone's not comfortable where he is. Lucid's gone down. Numbers advantage now for Rebellion to push forward. SoulSnipe takes top gold edge. Deadzone spots him out. Formal dies on benches. Here come Rebellion.
And here's that 3 push I was talking about, but now you've got to find the one. The one is SoulSnipe. Deadzone has to call that out, and you have to prioritize taking him down. Because now Deadzone's going to be in a 1 versus 3 here. He's in the middle of nowhere, but he has help. Formal comes in. Lucid comes in. 3 go down for Rebellion.
The
Make
cavalry.
it more.
Killing spree for Deadzone. And they spot out that player. SoulSnipe was the final man to fall. 13-6, and how different it could have been had Deadzone fallen.
Good knowledge now from TriPPPeY. Knows that Suppressed over towards Hotel. Happy to stand out in the open because he has that camouflage and he could just give all that information. But Suppressed has won that 1v against Lucid, which does just mean Optic have to retract slightly. They can't get too aggressive here because Shopify are just spreading themselves out and watching these angles.
Mental just maneuvers his Spartan out of the line of sight of TriPPPeY. The camouflage now gone. Mental spots him out immediately. Suppressed is still in Hotel. And he's going to charge in and get that kill, but TriPPPeY somehow, some way, gets the sticky, gets the trade. Mental's in trouble here, down to no shields. Taken care of. SoulSnipe backed away, bottom middle. Optic still with a lead.
And those kind of sticks, those kind of moments could be the difference in this game. Just when you think you've been able to shut down an individual, they pull something out of nowhere, but Suppressed has just taken down Formal at the right time because that means Shock Rifle will be in control here for Shopify Rebellion.
And they need it. Down by 6. Throwing bodies forward, but unfortunately they're not getting the kills that they need. Cykul's in trouble, down to no shields. Another member falls. Suppressed with the shock rifle, but he wasn't close enough to his teammates. And he knows he's in trouble because pressure's coming his way. He's backed him towards blue. While Suppressed has this shock rifle, Optic Gaming are in towards Plaza, and in towards yellow and long haul. Be really interesting to hear the communication from the Optic Gaming. Let's go to a listen in with them.
I'm bottom side peek on the left. Is he weak? Is he weak? Yeah, he's weak.
Watching your
I'm watching your guy. Okay, two there. I got one. The other one, he has a repulsor.
Guys.
Yo, we should hit blue. Only one guy at snipe, guys. 2 at blue, 1 guy at snipe. He's in blue shock. Watch out. I'm getting out of here. Get out. Watch out.
There's 2 in blue.
One's S4 Zan. Yeah, I am Zan.
S4.
Concrete. S4 now. Come blue, side. I'm coming down.
Keep watching me. They're gonna hit yard eventually. Go high window shock. And flower door.
I'm gonna go for this shit, Loki. Flower door. Close right, Cykul.
Two guys here.
S4 weak. Really weak S4.
Watching flowers.
Coming. So many. Watch out, I flush down on you.
S4 to camo.
Yeah. Blue window, high window. All blue. S4 lives in. Yo, so does free kill. Posters. Watch out, posters. Free kill.
Blue guys. Blue shot.
Yo, don't say guys.
Let him spawn. Get in the blue. They're at snipe.
Go top gold.
Yes. Hiding loop.
Yo, posters, free kill. Wait, watch out, 2 shot posters.
Yo, watch it. 3 here.
Looking. Watch out benches. Can't see it.
LR.
Upside.
Dollar wall, yard. Yo, look at
top side.
that, Matt.
Yo,
he's like class. I think he saw you, Matt. He saw you.
Watch out, U-turn, guys. Top yellow. Last week Cykul have.
Look at top gold. Look at loop. Yo, can we look blue with me?
Yeah, I'm here. Watch out, driver Cykul, absolute. 2 driver 1.
Coming flower.
Another one, driver 1. Push this.
We're pushing driveway, pushing driveway.
I'm pushing LR, I'm pushing LR.
Don't see one here.
Blue, glass, blue, glass.
That lead continues to grow here, folks. That means the green wall and the fans associated with them can breathe a sigh of relief because they seem to be pulling away here and putting real distance between them and Rebellion.
And it is made even more impressive by the fact that this is, without a shadow of a doubt, Shopify Rebellion's best map and mode. And Optic Gaming are making it look somewhat easy. I mentioned the 3-in-1 split, and you heard it in the listening as well. Calling out where that individual was, calling out where the three, where they expect the push, where they expect the hit. And they were expecting it, they were waiting for it. Laid that trap, and they were able to shut down several members of Shopify. It is a 14-kill lead at the moment. This is gonna be so tough for Rebellion to get back into.
It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow if they lose this one here. Typically, and particularly after coming so close. They're down by a significant margin here. We're into perfect Halo territory. They've got to get kills without reply. They cannot afford to trade here. And Optic Gaming are in no mood to give away free kills.
Optic happy to slow this one down, happy to just wait and see what Shopify Rebellion have to offer. Again, the 3-1 split, but Mental is probably going to try and get a little bit closer to the rest of the team here because they need to be working together, cannot get pinched one by one. They need a full all 4 dead if they're going to get back into it, but Cykul and SoulSnipe fall. And Optic Gaming continue their dominance.
It was 4 dead for Rebellion.
5 minutes remaining.
And they continue to chase this game, but they're chasing their tails. Optic Gaming are well and truly in the ascendancy here. Just 10 kills away from grand finals.
They have their foot in the door. They can smell it, they can taste it. And maybe they can start thinking about the possibility of lifting a trophy already. But they have to be aware that Space Station Gaming are still in this tournament and still in that elimination bracket.
What do Rebellion have in the final knockings of this game then? Can they flip the script? Is there a sting in the tail somewhere here? The green wall chants are ringing out and they're ringing loud, trying to drive their team home to victory here. It's been a long series, a lot longer than they would have liked. 3 kills remaining. TriPPPeY gets away, somehow, some way. Evades the grenades, evades the gunshots. Suppress goes down. 1 more kill for the green wall, and they're heading to the grand finals. And there it is. 3-2 the final score. Optic Gaming are going to grand finals.
And it is another spectacular on Slayer. Forget the 100% win rate. Optic say, if you take one of ours, we will take one right back. And they send Shopify Rebellion into that elimination bracket, into the clutches of Space Station Gaming, who are eagerly awaiting them. But the green wall will be in that grand final, will have that best of 7 advantage. They are in championship form because not only do they topple a 100% win rate, but they stop a reverse sweep. They stay strong, they do not let their heads drop, and they believe in themselves. Optic Gaming guaranteed top 2.
What a series. What a showing from Rebellion. Roaring back to life after games 1 and 2. And they can take real pride and confidence now heading into that Space Station Gaming series. But for Optic, Dan, just stopping that reverse sweep, that was massive for them.
Massive for their mentals. I feel like if they had got reverse swept, they would have dropped down, probably got beaten by Space Station. On the other side, for Shopify Rebellion, we have to give them a round of applause for how they played. They got maps on the board, they took Optic all the way, but sadly just fell short. It was one hell of a series, and I am curious to see what a member of the Green Wall has to say. Blaze, who have you got on the stage?